I've been involved with the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce since the revamping and the organization of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. So I dedicated a lot of time and resources to that, first through the Latina Roundtable, in an effort to bring more women business owners into the fold. And then also, since my graduation with the Center for Houston's Future, I've been involved with Memorial Hermann Hospital, the United Way of Greater Houston, the Mexican Institute, and more recently, Houston First. The first project, directly as a result of my participation with the center, was the Citizenship Coalition of Houston. That was something that I and Hippolito Acosta established, where we were able to help thousands of legal immigrants, eligible immigrants, become U.S. citizens. That was the first one. And then during that time, when the Houston Hispanic Chamber was going through a difficult time, I chaired the Latina Roundtable and then later became a part of the board of directors and ultimately chairman of the board 2 years ago. The Latina Roundtable was an effort to bring more women to the chamber because it was mostly a male-dominated organization and board. And so I did different surveys to get women to participate, first to understand who those women business owners were, and then what it would take for them to participate in the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I believe that by empowering the disenfranchised, especially women and minorities, that Houston will be a better place to live, work, and raise a family. I'm also very inspired by the fact that an immigrant like me, who came to the U.S. with nothing, can and do make a difference. The center gave me a much broader view of the issues affecting Houston, and it challenged me to look at areas that I had not considered before. Participating in the forum widened my level of influence, and it gave me access to different people that I did not have before. And so it allowed me to get involved in areas that I had either not considered or thought they were too challenging for me. As a business leader, I think more so with the work that I've done with the Houston Hispanic Chamber, it has allowed me to bring more visibility to women-owned businesses and to small businesses so that there's more visibility and also more procurement opportunities for those businesses. The Citizenship Coalition was made up of different organizations, including Catholic Charities, the University of Houston Law Center, the Mayor's Office, neighborhood centers, Empresarios Latinos, and other ethnic organizations that allowed us to make a difference with Houston's immigrant population. And by immigrant population, I'm talking about at least 100 different communities. And so we were able to make a huge difference there, where we were able to assist eligible legal residents. This is not undocumented workers. This is eligible legal residents become U.S. citizens. And that was an absolutely great experience for me. I'm very grateful to have had that opportunity. I know that I made a difference for thousands of people that would not have otherwise had a chance to become U.S. citizens. And I also know that I made a big difference with the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, especially for women business owners that now have more procurement opportunities and have a voice at the Houston Hispanic Chamber. You know, in the revamping of the chamber, we became the largest chamber in the region, and probably one of the largest chambers in the nation. And it took a lot of volunteers like me to be able to do that. The different roles that the organizations played, Catholic Charities, for instance, trained over 100 volunteers so that they could assist in the process of completing the applications. The University of Houston Law Center recruited immigration attorneys that would help us in reviewing those applications to make sure that they were thoroughly completed and that it complied with all the requirements. And then we had organizations like the National Association of Latino Elected Officials that helped with the picture taking and other processes that were necessary. But we had so many organizations that were involved, including Univision and other ethnic radio programs that talked about how we could help those individuals. They had a backlog of applications, but they also had a lot of complaints from different community leaders about what was happening with the immigrant population as far as immigration attorneys and especially notary publics that were representing themselves as attorneys and charging exorbitant fees for the completion of the application. So it was at the time that I was participating in the Leadership Forum that this came to light, and Hippolito and I wanted to do something about it. And so we were able to train volunteers and to do that for free, so that the only thing that the individual needed to pay was the application fee, the immigration application fee. But we processed not only the applications, but went through the entire application process with each one of the applicants so that they would know what step was next. I came here as a child, and we came here legally as a family, so thank God for that. But it was a very difficult life. We immigrated from state to state, and my school was interrupted every 2 or 3 months. And so I never thought that I would be in the position that I am today, although I was always a very ambitious person, and I was a very hardworking person. I knew that I would be somebody someday, very determined, and so part of my DNA definitely is giving back because of where I come from.